Alrighty then, everybody. How was that then? Wasn't great, was it? But does it matter? Because here's what happened. Manchester United got 3 points. Doesn't matter whether you absolutely trounce them 10-0 or whether you score 1-0 with a deflected goal in injury time. You still only get 3 points. Or there is a bit of a goal difference thing to be had with the other way around. It wasn't pretty. And honestly, as injury time was counting down and as the ball kept going out, I'll be honest with you, I was like, not looking forward to doing this review. What do we even start talking about there? We've been nilled again at home. Unfortunately, or fortunately, I guess, whichever around you want to think about that, I don't think United are too far away in the grand scheme of things. I still definitely think a right winger is much needed for us, and I think once you get a right winger in that can actually progress stuff, I think United will be a bit of a threat. I think there's a couple of players that are looking like they need a rest big time. And a couple of those, I would say, are Bruno and Marcus. I didn't think either of them had a final ball or shot in them today. Marcus obviously went and got the winner, so fair play to him for that one. But yeah, I think fair play. It was a scrappy performance against a team that is always tough to break down, a team that has been a bit of a bogey team for us of late. But you've got to take it. It's as simple as that for me. So let's have a look then at how it went down and what it all means. And first things first, that recent form starting to look a little bit tasty now, I would say. That's where you want it to be. This is how we lined up. Realistically, I thought Mason Greenwood's involvement today was quiet and it was withdrawn, and his average touch was around about here. He wasn't really getting in behind. Rashford wasn't really getting in behind, and Cavani, he just didn't get the ball. That's a potential consequence of playing up against the back three. When you play up against the back three, now, I actually do have some experience of dealing with this recently with Paddock FC. When we've had teams that have played a back three against us, you got a couple of options. You either go super wide like this, and you try and draw him out. I just hidden him, and I didn't mean to do that. You either go super wide like that, and you try and draw the centre halves out, or you go the complete opposite, and you go extremely narrow, and try and create some space along the flanks. I thought United could today potentially go with that extremely narrow three and push Telles up, and to a certain extent, I thought they were allowing Telles to have the ball. I think he put 7 crosses in and found the target with none of them, and I think that arguably wasn't effective for United. But at half-time I was saying, just be patient. It's there for us at the moment, and I think if we started doing a couple of things, we started having some long-range shots, if we start having a little bit of balance on that right-hand side, I think it would have come. I'm seeing a lot of people going mad about Pogba in the comments. I'll be honest with you, I thought Pogba was all right. Certainly don't think he was man of the match. Certainly don't think he was even in the running for that. But you've got to remember, Pogba's had a start-stop last few weeks. And there's always pressure on Pogba. I don't think he did anything wrong. But I thought it was an all-right performance. Maybe he was a little bit slow in possession. But the options ahead of him were not great. Who today really was showing for the ball? Where was the big options on? How many times was there a pass that was definitely on that he delayed? Because I would say I don't think there was too many of those sorts of balls that he didn't play. And there was a guy at half-time on the Paddock watch-along was like, get him off and get Fred on. And I'm going, okay, well, you're entitled to that opinion of that's what change you want to see happen. But I want to know, why do you want to see this change happen? What is it that you're seeing where you go, get Fred on because? Because to me, in that comment, it was, I don't like Pogba, and Fred runs around loads. That's not intelligent analysis, is it? What's Fred going to do? Is Fred going to help find that incisive pass? Because I'll tell you what, that's not in Fred's locker. If you thought, we're getting overrun in midfield a little bit here, and I think Pogba's a bit too slow, and Matic is a bit too slow, I want to bring Fred on and balance that out, I'd have gone, all right, cool, I get that. And I can't say you're right or wrong, but I can understand your reasoning for it. When you just like get Fred off and get Pogba on and then we'll get a goal, you're like, what? Got a super chat here from Carl. It says, winner mentality this season, Steve. Not our best game, but our form has improved and we can score from this improvement. A lot of people still tell you that there is no improvement in this Manchester United side, and I'll tell you they're wrong. K. Duman says, Bay is cementing a spot ahead of Lindelof, do I think? Let's have a look at Bay's stats today then, because I actually thought he proved why you pick him, or why we've been asking for Tuanzebe in a couple of instances today. And that was, United played with an extremely high line today, and when we played with that high line, occasionally we were getting caught out, wasn't we? So let's have a look here. So this is Eric Bailly's stats. Let's have a look. One shot. 43 out of 46 passes, very assured. There was a couple of decent headers that I thought were really good. 11 ball recoveries, 4 out of 5 attacking third passes, mad. 1 out of 1 tackle, 4 interceptions, 3 out of 3 clearances, 2 out of 2 headed clearance, 1 out of 2 aerial duels, 1 error leading to a shot, 1 foul committed. I thought it was a nice Eric Bailly performance. The issue with Bailly has never been an ability thing. Bailly's always had the ability. He's never really had the fitness to maintain a full campaign. If he does, I love Bailly. I love a crank. And he fits firmly into that category. He's absolutely loopy. And I love that about him. I saw Marcus getting a lot of stick today. Let's have a look at what Marcus did. 3 shots, 1 goal again. It's that golden ratio, isn't it? That's still very clinical. Although people will tell you, you've got to score them all. 85% pass accuracy. Let's have a look what he did with those. A little bit sideways, not much penetration there, I would say, if anything, be a little critical. Take-ons, 3 out of 10. You'd like that to be at least 50-50 or better. Passes inside the penalty area. Most of them are coming back. That's when he's cutting in off that left-hand side, trying to set somebody up on that left-hand side. And let's have a look at Paul Pogba while we were talking about Paul Pogba. So 1 shot from Pogba. 58 out of 70 passes. But as you can see, look at where the involvement is. I saw some people talking about him playing as a holding midfielder, and I would absolutely disagree with you. But look at the range of passing from him there. I think that's really good range of passing from him. He's kept it ticking. He's equally on the left-hand side as the right-hand side, even though we had nobody on the right-hand side. I thought it was a solid little performance. Wan-Bissaka being too defensive. Yeah, Wan-Bissaka probably is too defensive. He is limited. Although I would say in the first half, I thought Wan-Bissaka looked pretty decent with the ball at his feet. Let's have a look at Wan-Bissaka. So 49 out of 55 passes. He was getting involved with a few things here, making it happen. I thought it was all right from him. Let's have a look at Bruno today. 3 shots again from Bruno. 2 from outside the box, 1 from in close range. It was a good bit of movement to get on the end of. 52 out of 70 passes. A lot of people get hung up on the low sort of average rate of passing for Bruno. But you got to remember, as a number 10, you're not expecting your number 10 to have 100% pass accuracy. Typically in a team, the highest pass accuracy is your centre-halves because they're knocking it about to each other, which is the safest pass on a football pitch usually, centre-half to the other centre-half. Your number 10 and your number 9, really, you don't expect them to have a high percentage of passing because these are the ones that are trying to make things happen. Now, you also don't want them to have no successful passes because that's not good as well. There has to be a balance. I would say there's usually a pretty good balance with Bruno. And I don't mind him giving the ball away when he's trying to make things happen. You don't want that guy to have 100% involvement. Jerome says, was Bay good or were Wolves that bad going forward? What he offered Bay was when they were breaking on the counter, his positioning was good enough to get back and cover, and his pace was good enough to get back and cover. Something Lindelof and Maguire really lack with. So Cavani, 2 shots today. Both, I don't really think you can count both of those, but I mean, they're in the right kind of area there. You'd like a bit more of that. In terms of passing, unfortunately, as you can see, he's got a little bit of build-up play there, but certainly nowhere near enough in the final third. They just crowded him out. Now, it's a very narrow, it's a very deep system that Wolves like to play, and you are going to get caught off a little bit like that. So that's how it goes down sometimes. But, it was good. Here's the most important thing. At the end of the season, this is all that's going to matter. The league table. And currently United are second behind Liverpool on the same points played. 15 games gone, 2 points off this great Liverpool team. You can't tell me there's no improvement, because there is. Bree says, one team came to win today, and at points I feared no team came to win at points. However, dare I say it, championship winning form, winning when not playing great. Hope the potential break doesn't hurt. Ross, Adama Traore wasn't that great, but still take him if we had the chance. Yeah, I would. Me and Ronaldo was talking about this all the way through the game, actually. People look at the fact he's got no goals and no assists, and they're not actually looking at his output when he's on the field. He's progressing the ball up the pitch. He's causing 2-3 men to come towards him. In a better team, that's going to leave somebody unmarked, and that's when you're going to get things really start popping off around him. I would absolutely take Adama Traore. Still see a lot of hate for Ollie. Mad in it. Anything we can do to get the people to acknowledge how much we've improved. Just tell TalkSport to fuck off at every opportunity. Overlapping wing-backs might add another dimension. They might. It's not all about overlapping full-backs. There are more than one way to skin a cat with it. Adama Traore is a hench Dan James. I think he's got a lot more to his game than Dan James does. A lot more to his game. Right, I'm going to head over to the Discord group and see what questioners we've got in there in the review section. Let's have a look. Why has Cavani passed like he's just learned the fancy button on FIFA? I don't know what that means. I don't play FIFA. How important is it that we dug in and scraped to 1-0, even with Wolves having 10 behind the ball? Massively, massively important. I think just as it was 0-0, I was saying this would have been a massive 3 points before we managed to go and score the goal. Disappointment, really, thinking like we've all had a bit of a draw this week. Now United need to kick on and get 3 points. That's what we really need to go and do. Then we went and did it. So you've got to acknowledge it as being a big, big 3 points. It's a bogey team. They're a tough side. They don't really give a lot away. So well done. Although we won in the end, do I think Ollie should have brought on Van der Beek with 10 or 15 minutes left? Yes. I don't know who for, though. I reckon he might have took Bruno off if we was leading the game, because he's always liable to get you a goal. I can see why he would be reluctant to do that. But yeah, I think you got to look at it. Is a title charge on in the next week? I've said I'm not getting giddy till 25 games in, and I'm going to stick with that. Realistically, why are we winning the league this year? If you want me to play that game, the reasons why we might are because we're actually way more consistent than people want to give us credit for. The reasons why we might not, because we're not the finished article, and I do think you can nullify us. And I also worry about the rest in Marcus and in Bruno, and I think there's a couple of areas that United could really get found out in. But it might be a case of, in a war of attrition, would these injuries start to mount up for Liverpool in the second half of the season? We'll have to see. And Europa League doesn't help. Are these the type of wins that you need to compete for the title? Yes. Ollie going to get us to 21. Is everyone just giddy? Is that it now? Do we need proper width on the right to balance how this team attacks? Undoubtedly. Why do I think Ollie persists with Pogba even though he continually shows a lack of effort as well as wastefulness in United's half? I would disagree with that as an assumption on how he played. But one of the reasons why I think he persists with him is, even if he's going, you do have to maintain that value of him. And he could also be potentially disruptive if he's not playing. So you kind of just have to fucking suck it up and deal with it until you get him out the door. Is Bruno the best Portuguese human to play in the Premier League? There was a guy once, and he was pretty good, and he won a Ballon d'Or. And I think Bruno's second only to him. If Bailly can remain fit, can he put pressure on Maguire and Lindelof for that centre-back spot? Definitely. Like I said before, the issue with Bailly has never been about his abilities. It's always been about his availabilities, for want of a better word. Pogba wasn't lacking effort today. Yeah, I would more or less agree with that. Do I reckon it could be easier to ease youngsters like Palestri and Diallo? Hang on, just lost that one. into this team to add the width. I'm not sure either of those two are just ready just yet. How can a 33-year-old Cavani have more energy than Marshall? He was defending all day. He's not played a lot this year, you got to remember. That can help as well. I mean, this United side largely got ran into the ground. Do we need to get into the January transfer market? See, I was having a chat about this earlier. I think United aren't going to go into the transfer market in Jan, even though I think we should. I'm not sure we will, and I don't know. I just got no confidence that we're going to go do that. I know that we need to. There's been no rumblings of any sort of signings. There's been nothing along those lines. So I just think I'm not having it. A couple of comments here saying Shaw back to his best. Right. Honestly, I really, really need you to watch him. Really need you to fucking watch him. There was moments tonight I was screaming at the telly with his positioning. And I was sitting next to Will and Ronaldo. And I went, it's not just fucking me, this, is it? I said, you are seeing this. And then right that second, he just fucking gives the ball away. And them two started laughing. And I was like, he stops our play going forward. Defensive positioning. Next, in fact, if you're going to watch the game back, go and watch the game back and watch him when we don't have the ball. And just ask yourself, why is he there? Getting dragged like fuck out of position. I don't understand. I think people who rate Luke Shaw hate United. He's the only thing I can fucking come to. He is the stupidest player I've ever seen in a United shirt. He just fucking chases shadows. He looks like he doesn't have a clue what he's doing. He's got no confidence in what he's doing himself. Unbelievable. Right, I'm going to wrap it up there, but cheers for tuning in. Make sure to give the video a like. Tell you what, like it if you think we're doing a title charge. And downvote it if you think we're not. 5 things will be out in the morning, and I believe preview for Villa will either be out tomorrow or the next day, I guess. But listen, stop taking it too serious, man. We're second in the league. Could be a lot fucking worse. It's been a lot worse. We're only 2 points off, so supposedly the greatest fucking Premier League, the team that the league has ever seen. Fucking unbelievable. People in the comments now spamming Luke Shaw's the best Premier League left back. See? No wonder I lose my shit with people, is it? Fucking absolute maniacs. Cheers for tuning in. See you in a bit.